How's it going, guys? Tom here, and we're back for episode number 18 of Showdown Slam. As we kick off today's episode in a bit of a bad run, we've, I think, won only about 2 matches in our last 3 episodes, and if we go further back than that, then I think the record is even worse. So we're definitely in a bit of a low point at the moment, and what I've done to try and I guess remedy that and try and counter that is rewatch Jamie Boyt's Worlds Report videos. Admittedly, I have only watched the first one because I think that's the one that contains most of the information about the team, and I will link them in the description as well so you can see them too. And the idea behind it was just to again remind myself what the spreads did and how the team works together, and I feel. I do feel a little bit more confident in the team now, particularly its bulk. That's one thing that Jamie does really hammer home is how much bulk the team has. So I definitely really need to play towards that and potentially play more of a slow game that sees me set up the Xerneas and try and win the match from there. So we're going to try 3 more games again. I'm not going to say it's going to bring instant results. Obviously, it would be quite silly to do so after being in such a poor run of form at the moment. But we'll see how we get on and see what we can do to try and get the Xerneas set up and win from there. So our first opponent here is going to be running a, what do you call it? It's a Lugia and Xerneas team with Plusle, Weavile, Smeargle and Talonflame. So a very interesting team here. One thing to bear in mind as well is that because of the amount of losses I've been taking at the moment, we have been falling down the ladder, unfortunately. So because I see Smeargle, I'm going to lead Whimsicott just in case and play this safe. If Smeargle doesn't show up, then we can at least potentially try and Tailwind. Because of the potential for attacks, because of the high physical attack stats of the Weavile and the Talonflame, I am tempted to lead Xerneas. At the same time, I almost want to lead Xerneas. I feel if we get a Tailwind set up, then Xerneas can do quite well against most of this team. And in the back, I'm going to bring the Rayquaza. And what do I feel benefits this team the most? I think Scrafty for potential fake outs could be quite good here as well. So we could bring Gyarados here. Gyarados actually does quite well against the rest of this team too. So we'll see how this goes. So it is Weavile and it is Smeargle. So what can we do here? Weavile will probably want to fake out, which is really annoying. We won't be able to safeguard if we do that, but we'll try and go for the yeah, we'll go for a safeguard here, and we'll protect the Xerneas just in case. So Weavile does fake out the Whimsicott, and the Smeargle is going to go for a Dark Void here. Yeah, so that's to be expected, really. So one thing to bear in mind is that this Smeargle is probably Scarf, actually, given that Weavile hasn't taken any recoil damage from that fake out. It's likely that the Weavile is sashed. So what we'll do here is try and go for a Tailwind, and we'll send out the Gyarados to. Yeah, we'll send out the Gyarados to take any, to intimidate this Weavile some more. So Whimsicott gets its third turn of sleep. The Smeargle does go for a Dark Void, and it is a knockoff from the Weavile, which is, fair enough. So we'll go for a safeguard here. Hopefully we'll get it, and we'll go for a Thunder Wave into the Weavile. I'm quite worried about this Smeargle with the amount of Moody boosts it is getting. Weavile does protect here, actually. Whimsicott gets max sleep turns as well. And the accuracy from the Smeargle really coming into play there, those Moody drops. So let's go for a Safeguard and another Thunder Wave here onto the Weavile. And I think next turn we can go for a Tailwind here. Yeah, so once Whimsicott wakes up, we'll get Safeguard up. Yeah, Safeguard comes up, and it is Fling. So it's going to be one of these Fling Lugia sets, which I was suspecting as well. what we will be able to do here is get up a Tailwind, and we can potentially roar away the Lugia. Actually, I'm going to give that a go, see if we can roar it away. So Tailwind comes out, Error Blast, perfect, into the Whimsicott, that's great. Didn't want to see it go into the Gyarados. Roar comes out and Smeargle comes out as well. So we have got Tailwind up. What we can do here is send in our own Xerneas. So Roar was really nice in just destroying that tech there, which is great. And now we have a choice in either roaring the Xerneas or Thunder Waving it or Icy Winding it. And I feel like I want to go for the Icy Wind. Actually, no, there's no point going for the Icy Wind here because Smeargle isn't sashed. We'll go for the Thunder Wave into the Xerneas. So Smeargle is choosing to lock itself into Dark Void there. So Xerneas does Geomancy as well. That's fine. So we'll go for a Dazzling Gleam here. And let's actually roar the... Actually, what we'll do is we'll go for a Moonblast into the Smeargle. I want to make sure this KOs it. And we'll go for a roar into the Xerneas. Actually, no, we'll go for a Dazzling Gleam here. And a Waterfall into the Smeargle. And that should KO those two moves combined. I'd hope anyway. Because Smeargle can't really do anything here. Could Wide Guard. No, it can't because it's scarfed. So it's locking its... Yeah, so not... Yeah, so going for the Smeargle there, perhaps not the best option. We can cancel that. And instead what we can do is Moonblast the Xerneas. And maybe we can... Yeah, let's Moonblast and Waterfall this Xerneas, actually. And we'll see what my opponent wants to do. They are taking their time thinking about this as well. But I think once we get this Xerneas out the way, we should be able to... Okay, so Xerneas protects. Fair enough. So Smeargle gets a speed boost there, which is interesting. What I'm going to do here is Dazzling Gleam now and Waterfall the Smeargle. Let's get it out of the way before it can start converting those Dark Voids next turn. So yeah, the combination of Dazzling Gleam is able to take out the Xerneas there. And actually our Xerneas my opponent's Xerneas crits the Rayquaza, which is unfortunate. So Weavile can come out here and potentially fake out whatever it likes. What I'm going to do is protect the Xerneas and Mega Evolve here. And what do I want to do next turn? I think what we can do here is go for an Extreme Speed. No, what we'll do actually is we'll go for a Protect on the Xerneas and a Dragon Ascent onto the Xerneas. And then we should be able to KO it with Extreme Speed next turn. I'm not too worried about the special defense drops. Jamie Boy was very reassuring about those kinds of things, so hopefully we don't lose here. As we do. Okay. Well, maybe that's my misplay then. I should have gone for a an Extreme Speed instead there. So that's unfortunate. Hopefully this Weavile isn't really able to do anything to us. We know it's got Knockoff and Fling and Fake Out. I don't know what its last move would be, but hopefully it's nothing like Icicle Crash. And actually the Weavile... Oh yeah, so the Weavile isn't sashed either, which is because it did do that Fling. And then finally we have the Lugia here, which we can Moonblast. Lugia is quite especially bulky, but hopefully it isn't bulky enough to live that. It is just about bulky enough, but we get a special attack drop, which is really nice. So that Earth Power really doing nothing there. So yeah, good win for us there. I think there were still some questionable plays in that match, which, you know, perhaps could have opened things up for our opponent there. But the important thing, I think, is that we won, and we do get off to a good start. After having a bit of a losing streak, it's good to finally get a win with this team. So our next opponent is running a Kyogre Xerneas team, so that's really unfortunate for us. I do remember Kyogre teams being quite poor for us here. Also featuring Bronzong, Salamence, Thundurus and Weavile as well, so really this is quite a anti-Xerneas team. Not good. How do we want to deal with this? I feel like we can lead Rayquaza here and, you know, see what's what, I guess. And Scrafty as well for potential fake outs as well, could be quite nice. Gyarados might come in quite handy here as well, and we'll have Xerneas in the back too. So my opponent does lead Thundurus and also Salamence as well, which is nice. We won't Mega Evolve here because the Icy Wind is a 2-hit KO on Salamence, and we'll go for a fake out here into the Thundurus. Salamence might want to protect here. It doesn't, which is perfect. So Thundurus flinches, Hyper Voice comes out from the Salamence. An Icy Wind, you know, does good damage to Thundurus and really chunks that Salamence actually really nicely. So we'll go for another Icy Wind here, and we'll go for a knockoff into the Thundurus. Not sure what item this Thundurus is potentially using. Thundurus Thunder Waves to Rayquaza, which is fair enough. I imagine the Thundurus is, yeah, Citrus Berry or Sash, so this knockoff isn't going to do a whole lot here. Perhaps the better play could have been to switch out the Scrafty, but never mind. So this Xerneas is free to set up a Geomancy now, and what I want to do here is Icy Wind again, and what we can do is send out, I think we could send out Gyarados here for more Icy Winds later on in the match. At least protect our Xerneas from having anything done to it. Oh, so the Xerneas actually just goes straight for the Dazzling Gleam, which is nice. So we get some chip onto that as well, which is great. And what we can do here is go for a Mega Evolution Extreme Speed onto this Thundurus, and we will Thunder Wave this Xerneas. Hopefully that should slow it down. Oh, and Rayquaza is fully paralysed, of course. So that's less than ideal there. Obviously, when you are playing with Thundurus, you are... Thundurus actually has Grass Knot, which is really interesting. So how do we want to play this now? We'll send in Scrafty here. And what we can do here is knock off the Xerneas. And we'll go for another Icy Wind here. And that should take out the Thundurus, I imagine. Actually, do we want to worry about knockoff? We can fake out the Xerneas. And we'll go for an Icy Wind here. Yeah, so Xerneas protects, that's fair enough. Again, this time Thundurus does get the Thunder Wave off, but the Lumberry cures us. So Icy Wind not doing a lot to the Thundurus there, but that's fine. What we can do here is knock off the Xerneas, prevent it from doing anything, not getting any Geomancies off, I mean. And let's go for a water. Actually, I think we want to target down this Thundurus here, stop it paralysing our own Xerneas. So we'll knock off the Thundurus, and we will also Icy Wind. No, we'll also Waterfall here. And that should take it out. Combination of those moves. Yeah, perfect. Do we get a flinch? We do get a flinch. That's really nice. And lastly, it's the Weavile from my opponent here. So no Kyogre, which is really good. So what we can do here is potentially... No, we can Quick Guard here. And what we'll do is Thunder Wave the Weavile. Because this fake Weavile is going... Oh yeah, Quick Guard. So that's one thing I keep forgetting, is that Quick Guard doesn't block Fake Out with Scrafty. So yeah, unfortunate from us there. And we'll Icy Wind. Actually, we'll Water... No, we'll... What we'll do is we'll low kick this Weavile. And we can't roll the Xerneas. But we can Icy Wind here, and hopefully that can KO the Weavile at least. But Xerneas just Dazzling Gleams anyway, so that's fine. Weavile knocks off there. So we are left in a 2v1 here, but I feel we can go for a Geomancy here. Yeah, let's go for a Geomancy. So we evolve Faints, which is fine, I think. Hopefully Xerneas can't KO us from here. It can't, but it does reduce our special attack. So let's go for a Moonblast into this Xerneas now. So we evolve Faints as well. Our Moonblast isn't enough now to KO, and we actually lose that. So that was a much closer game, but that special attack drop really hurting us there. And perhaps we let the Xerneas sit around on the field too long to get that Geomancy up in the end. Maybe we should have just gone for the knockoff onto it when we had the chance, but hey, I guess we learn from those. And finally, it's dual primal team with supporting mons in the form of Crobat, Talonflame, Morwell, and Suicune. So probably a very hard Tailwind team here. And to combat that, I do want to lead my own Whimsicott for Tailwind. And what else can we see here? I think we could have Arcanine for helping hand support in the future. But we'll lead Gyarados here as well, just so we can get some icy... Actually, no, we'll lead Rayquaza. We'll have Gyarados in the back, I think. Yeah, Gyarados does quite well, I think, here. But Xerneas is also nice here. So I think if we lead Gyarados, we can get some Thunder Waves off potentially. With Rayquaza, show some offensive pressure. Xerneas in the back, and we'll have... I think we'll have Arcanine in the back as well, yeah. So Kyogre and Morwell leads for my opponent here. So the Intimidate here is really nice. And what we can do here is, I guess, we can Thunder Wave this Kyogre, and we'll actually switch... I kind of want to switch in the Arcanine here to take a Play Rough, but then obviously Kyogre can go for Water type attack here. I feel like it's not going to. Might just go for an Extreme Speed onto the Rayquaza. So if we can paralyze this Kyogre and get this Morwell on half attack, it shouldn't really be doing anything to us. So Thunder Wave comes off. Kyogre is paralyzed, which is perfect, and the Play Rough does nothing to the Arcanine, which is fantastic. So now we can switch in our Rayquaza, and we can Flare Blitz this Morwell. Let's see what our opponent wants to do to deal with that, because this is obviously a massive counter to Xerneas, and if we can get rid of the Morwell, then that's brilliant. So Morwell protects, fine, I guess. Not ideal for us. And Kyogre is fully paralyzed again, which is perfect. Really good for us there. So what we'll do here is we won't Mega Evolve, but we will Mega Evolve. And we can Extreme Speed into this Kyogre. And we will... let's send in our Xerneas here. Is this Morwell going to switch out? It is going to switch out, great. So Talonflame comes out from my opponent here. Extreme Speed doesn't really do a lot to the Kyogre, and actually it just goes for an Origin Pulse, and it misses the Xerneas, which is really good. So let's Waterfall the Talonflame here, and we'll go for a Protect here with the Xerneas, just to stop that Talonflame potentially getting a Brave Bird onto us. It might want to Tailwind here. If it does, then that's okay, I guess. But obviously this Morwell is causing us some issues here. So we get the Protect. Yeah, we do Protect from the Brave Bird, which is really nice. And the Waterfall is able to KO the Talonflame. And the Kyogre tries the Psych Up as well. So, okay, this Kyogre has Psych Up. We need to bear that in mind and KO it before it can KO us. Okay, cool. I was quite tempted to go for the Geomancy there as well. So, yeah. Now it's the question of what does Morwell want to target. And I almost want to force a double switch here. How do I want to deal with this? I feel we can get a Dragon Ascent off onto this. No, the Mawile is the threat here. How do we want to play this? I think we want a position where the Xerneas has... we could just do a double switch here, I think. That might be okay. I'm just worried about that Kyogre and how much damage it can do to us, really. So let's do a Dragon Ascent onto the Kyogre, and we'll switch in the Xerneas for Gyarados here. We could have switched in the Kyogre. Okay, so Groudon comes out here, gets the Sun Up, and the Dragon Ascent does do quite a lot of damage there actually to the Groudon. And it is Play Rough into the Gyarados, which triggers our Citrus Berry, and good things happen. So what can we do here? The Groudon can protect, and the Mawile can target the Rayquaza with a Play Rough. So I am going to switch into Arcanine to cover for that, and I am just going to Icy Wind here, I think. We could potentially go for a Waterfall another time into the Groudon. So Groudon protects, Icy Wind comes through, hits the Mawile, reduces its speed, nice. And it is Play Rough from the Mawile, which actually misses the Arcanine, so it wouldn't have done a lot anyway, so that's really nice. And now what we can do is Flare Blitz the Mawile. Actually no, the Mawile might want to protect here, so we'll switch in the Rayquaza and we'll Waterfall this Groudon. I'm predicting a Mawile protect here, but the Groudon switches out in favour of the Kyogre. And what does the Mawile want to do? Might want to just target down this Gyarados. It does. Our attack drops as well, which isn't great. What we can do is Dragon Ascent this Kyogre, and I feel like we've got enough Intimidates now to send in Xerneas and win the game from here. What I'm actually going to do is send in the Arcanine. I kind of want to send in the Arcanine for them to take any Play Roughs, which I will do. And we will... what can we do with the Gyarados? The Gyarados isn't really doing anything right now, so I don't mind if that goes down. With the amount of Intimidates this Mawile has taken, I'm not expecting a KO. And we could potentially try and go for a flinch onto this Mawile as well, actually. So let's go for a Dragon Ascent onto the Kyogre and try and flinch its Mawile. So the Dragon Ascent does KO the Kyogre. Can we get a flinch? Nope. And it is enough to take out the Rayquaza, which is a shame. We lose the Weather War here. And what we can do is send in the Arcanine. Actually, we will send in the Xerneas. And we will Geomancy here and go for an Intimidate onto this Groudon. Let's see how this goes. I don't think we know if this Groudon is physical or special yet. If it's special, I think we win. If it's physical, then we've done as much as we can with these Intimidates, and Arcanine does actually lose out there to that Precipice Blades, and the Play Rough from the Mawile isn't enough to take it out. So what we'll do here is we'll go for a Moonblast into the Groudon and a Waterfall into the Mawile. The Groudon might want to protect here. If it does, then we lose, I think. This Mawile is basically at rock bottom attack right now, so hopefully a Mawile can't take us out with... well, it hasn't shown Iron Head, so, and you'd think it would. So Mawile does protect here, which is even better for us. because now we should be able to take it out with a combination of Xerneas and Gyarados. So what we'll do here is go for a Moonblast onto the Mawile and a Waterfall onto the Mawile. Mawile hasn't shown Sucker Punch either, which is really interesting. So I'm not sure what it's running. I think we've seen Play Rough and we've seen Protect. I'm just scrolling through previous turns now. Moonblast does get the KO as well, which is great. You know, good job guys. We win 2 out of 3, which is a really nice turnaround for us. But yeah, this Mawile has only shown Protect and Play Rough, so I'll be interested to know what else it's running, because that's all we saw and it didn't even Iron Head. So perhaps just a funky team there from my opponent. But that does see us get 2 wins from 3 matches, which is great news. Excuse me. Yeah, really nice to sort of end the day off. Really, I've been doing a couple more recordings today, and yeah, I think we played a lot better this time, recognising the bulk of this team, maybe allowing us to be a bit, you know, play slower games and be offensive when we have to. And I think we managed that Mawile really well. I think one Iron Head could have really taken us out, but for whatever reason, it decided not to do it. And yeah, I think this is, so I'm recording in advance, and I think this is going to be Wednesday's video, and we'll have, obviously we'll have Thursdays and Fridays video, but I'm really looking forward to recording those now. It's a bit of a nice turnaround today, and hopefully we can end the week off in some good form after after having some really shaky and poor form. So yeah, as always guys, thank you so much for watching, and hope you enjoying these matches and, you know, appreciate some wins that we're getting at last. And if you're interested in watching more of this content, then do feel free to subscribe, and if you're interested in seeing what I'm doing outside of YouTube, then feel free to follow me on Twitter. My handle's in the layout and in the description below. So yeah, thanks again for watching guys, and I'll see you guys for tomorrow's video. Bye bye.